In the echoing halls of Buckingham Palace, a whisper can shatter thrones. A hidden letter, locked away for decades, has surfaced to challenge the very heart of the monarchy. Its contents, enough to leave the often irresolute King Charles speechless, as Catherine reveals the unexpected voice of Princess Diana and her final wishes. Words she intended for Harry alone. Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. The discovery of this artifact felt like unearthing a ticking time bomb, one capable of detonating the fragile peace that cradled the royal family. Stumbling upon this relic of the past, a letter buried within the labyrinth of palace secrets, Catherine couldn't help but sense the tingle of fate tightening its grip. Hidden amidst old documents and forgotten mementos, the faded envelope seemed innocuous at first glance. Yet as Catherine delicately unfolded its pale papers, a chill of premonition swept through the room. The age-old insignia of Diana's handwriting danced across the parchment, lending weight to every stroke, every curve, a secret longing to speak from beyond the grave. The origins of this letter had been veiled in mystery, nestled safely away under layers of secrecy that palace walls are notorious for nurturing. It was as if the shadows themselves conspired to keep it from ever seeing the light of day. Trusted confidants, discreet footmen, and loyal courtiers formed an unchanged coterie, holding tight to the promise of silence. But the age of secrets dawns and wanes with the passing of power. And here laid the testament to such change. A letter meant for Harry, written in a mother's own fragile hand. How it remained hidden, why it surfaced now, becomes a question that reverberates through the halls, its answers cloaked as deeply as the secrets themselves. Catherine found herself entangled in this revelation, compelled by an inner tempest of duty and emotion she could neither quell nor fully comprehend. Upon first touch, an electric sensation surged through her fingertips, a combination of awe and dread. Each line spoke not just to her eyes, but to her soul with a voice as personal as it was prophetic. The decision to disclose Diana's words was no light burden. A queen in her own right, yet at that moment, she became a keeper of a legacy too profound for silence. Her heart wrestled as Diana's imprinted desires felt like hers to embrace or to shun, and it was Catherine alone who would bear the consequence of either choice. The everlasting significance of Diana's whispered messages holds the power to mold kingdoms and cast shadows over destinies. Still beloved worldwide, her enduring spirit bridges across time, weaving through lives she never witnessed blossom. Perhaps it is poetic justice that her words emerge now, resonating with untapped strength, amplifying her legacy of compassion, defiance, and love. The weight of her intentions, the desire to nurture, the call to protect, the need to confess. These transcend beyond mere paper, invoking promises of upheaval and reconciliation in equal measure. The contents of her letter tease a future rife with trepidation and wonder. A mother's voice, crashing like waves against iron walls, far too potent to ignore, alluding to truths that could pit even blood against blood. A mother's plea, wrapped in ancient ink, awakening promises and memories, yet hinting at discord as well. Catherine, entrusting the echoes of Diana, resurrects a path lined with choices that, for one, might alter the line of succession, redefine allegiances, and incite rivalries long thought dormant. When the letter reached King Charles, it found him ill-prepared for such a harbinger of the past. Striding through memory-laden chambers, the king turned pallid, his composure briefly fractured. The gravity of whispered words carried more weight than the crown upon his head. In a moment of lingering silence, the invincible monarch seemed fallible after all. What once seemed secure, balanced on the precipice of change, he stared at the letter, trembling with the remnants of an era, cast adrift, unraveled by unseen hands. With tensions mounting, we delve deeper into the letter's explosive contents and the seismic shifts it causes within palace walls. Princess Diana always knew to express her heart, even when silenced by royalty. Her voice, trapped in ink, breaks through time's barrier, stirring palpable emotions in her younger son. Hidden for years, what truths was Diana desperate to share with Harry? And why does it make the monarchy tremble today? Like a timeless whisper carried on an evening breeze, Diana's words find Harry in the most unguarded of moments. Her letter, penned with foresight and fervour, speaks not only to him, but to a realm where crowns outweigh conscience. Diana knew well before the world did, that the small, vibrant-eyed boy drawing pictures in a palace would grow into a man who challenges the very institution that shaped him. Her foresight seems almost prophetic, a tapestry woven with threads of his future struggles within the monarchy. The opening lines of her letter, delicate yet fiercely honest, lift the veil on a woman's heart overflowing with love and foreboding. Revealed in ink that appears unbending yet tender, these snippets point to deeper sorrows that dared not speak their name in the crowded halls of royal whispers. The letter is a portrait, etched in poignant phrases that capture an unspoken turmoil, casting a haunting shadow over the gilded image of her sons beneath the crown's weight. In a dance as old as time itself, Diana's premonitions blend seamlessly into Harry's present turmoil. It is as if the years between them fold gently back upon themselves, revealing truths only a mother's heart can bear. The echoes of her fears resonate with his frustrations, each line a reminder that his path was foretold in the quill strokes of a mother who knew. There is an eerie harmony to it all, a connection that transcends mere presage, weaving their stories tighter every moment. Time has not healed the scars, but rather etched them deeper, mirroring the challenges Diana foresaw. A relentless pursuit of peace. In a world that thrives on chaos, Harry grapples with shadows that refuse to part. The struggles of royalty, those burdens Diana once shouldered in silence, now resonate in the fiery speeches and defiant actions of her son. An internal battle mirrored by an external one, where the expectations of heritage clash violently with the thirst for authenticity and freedom. Yet within this turmoil lies an unbreakable bond, a connection that time cannot sever. There is mother-to-son understanding in the quivering edge of each word Diana penned, a testament to love's enduring power. Harry clutches this letter, the silent witness of their bond, as though his mother stands beside him once more, guiding him through the storm. She too braved, a bond that surpasses the confines of life, a spiritual tether pulling him back to the comfort of her embrace. To share these words, these truths, is to summon a tempest not just for Harry, but for the very establishment his mother sought to shield him from. What danger lurks as he dares to breathe life into her silenced voice? The risk is formidable. The crown teeters on the precipice, for this revelation threatens to rattle foundations, long untouched by such earnest truth. Decisions hang heavy in the air, a balancing act between duty and desire, between silence and mare. Desalvation. As Harry grapples with his mother's messages, secrets long buried begin to unravel, setting the stage for confrontation with Charles. Buckingham Palace, a fortress of tradition, shakes under the tidal wave of two powerful forces, legacy and rebellion. Catherine's decision to reveal Diana's letter to Harry sparks a formidable challenge against King Charles, threatening to tear the family apart and redefine its future. The air was thick with anticipation, a silent storm brewing within the hallowed walls of the palace. Catherine had stood on the precipice of decision for days, the weight of Diana's haunting words pressing heavily upon her conscience. Her mind was a battleground, torn between the duty she owed the crown and the loyalty she felt towards Harry, the son of a woman who had captured the world's heart. It was a moment charged with electricity, her hand trembling as she placed the sealed envelope into Harry's hands. He met her gaze with a silent question, 1,000 unspoken fears hiding in those eyes. And just like that, the first ripple of the tidal wave surged forth, an irreversible act that would echo through the heart of the monarchy. As Harry carefully unfolded the crumpled letter, the truths it contained ignited a blaze of emotions that spread swiftly through the family like wildfire. Ties once rooted in solemn respect, now frayed under the fierce winds of revelation. Shadows of doubt crept into conversations, turning whispers into silent accusations. Each word danced with a dangerous promise, highlighting the fragility of their bonds. It was a seismic rift, an invisible fault line running beneath each member's polished exterior. Words that Diana had penned in despair became the chisels that threatened to carve the family asunder, revealing hidden fractures long kept in the crypt of forgotten secrets. Yet it was not mere past grievances at the letter unearthed. Instead, it was an explosive account of an empire cloaked in tradition, now threatened by its intention and betrayal, laid bare. Diana's voice resounded from beyond the veil, relentless, unyielding. A cautionary tale wrapped in revelations that could rewrite the lineage of the monarchy. Each line was a dagger of truth, cutting through preconceptions with surgical precision. The air inside the palace thickened, crackling with the static of untold histories, converging in a single perilous moment. In the eye of this storm stood King Charles, caught in a tempest of his own making. The reality of his late former wife's words met him like thunderclaps from forgotten skies, echoing through the long corridors of his mind. As king, he was the bastion of endurance, but as a father, he was stripped raw and vulnerable. His legacy and his personal life stood on the brink, a precipice beyond control, struggling with the dichotomy of kingly duty and paternal guilt. His distress was evident as he realized he was staring into an abyss that could consume his reign, his family, and the crown itself. Yet amidst this turmoil, Catherine found herself crushed under the weight of her own convictions. The decision to disclose the letter was birthed from something deeper, a fidelity to Harry and the ghost of Diana's true legacy. Now, she was ensnared in a web of her own weaving, balancing her allegiance to the monarchy's rigid demands with her own pursuit of truth. Her internal battle was mirrored by the mounting public storm, as media vultures circled above, eager to feast on the narrative playing out beneath the palace roofs. The world watched with bated breath, eager to discern what the revelation meant for the royal image, a domino of potential scandal poised precariously, waiting to fall. With the spotlight intensifying, an unexpected ally emerges, complicating the already volatile situation. In the royal chess game, alliances shift without warning. When Queen Consort Camilla steps into the fray, she holds a key surprise. Her unexpected support for Harry throws a curveball into the palace's inner turmoil, suggesting deeper motives and hidden agendas. As whispers of dissent continue to echo softly through the hallowed halls of the palace, few could have predicted the hand that Queen Consort Camilla would play in this relentless game of thrones. With a poised and deliberate move, her public endorsement of Harry was as shocking as it was strategic, sending ripples through a court already strained under the weight of its secrets. Her voice, steady and assured, echoed with a confidence not often attributed to her, effectively redistributing the power dynamics that had long been dictated by lineage and tradition. This shift left many questioning. What could possibly be her endgame? What could possibly be her endgame? Wejen declaring Shiming what could possibly be her endgame, the course of a ship in mid-journey. Known for her adroit navigation of palace intricacies, Camilla's decision to back Harry was not mere whimsy. It was a calculated maneuver, one that thwarted entrenched expectations, leaving seasoned courtiers scrambling to understand the new landscape. Here was a woman, often painted in the public eye as a mere shadow to Prince Charles's light, now casting her own formidable presence over the chessboard of royalty. Her alliance with Harry suggested deeper threads weaving back into the era of Diana, the implications of which unfurled tantalizing layers of intrigue. Camilla's actions were a complex tapestry of personal history and present strategy. The world remembered her contentious past, intertwined with the story of Diana, a narrative that seemed eternally etched in the pages of royal lore. His peculiar intersection of her past and her allegiance to Harry ignited curiosity and theories alike. Was this a gesture of atonement, or yet another move in a game only she fully understood? In this psychological chess game, Camilla executed moves with a precision that forced an uneasy admiration. Her mastery in balancing family dynamics with public perception was evident, painting her as a formidable player in a realm where grandeur and grace masked true intent. Yet, no move comes without consequences. Prince Charles found himself caught in the crossfire, his marriage burdened with the heavy accompaniment of political strain. What was personal now turned public, as Camilla's gambit rippled beyond the privacy of regal chambers into broader corridors of power. His reign, though steadfast, wavered under the newfound tension. Every gaze that met his was tinged with questions unspoken, a silent commentary on the shifting influence within his own household. The strength of Camilla's move lay not just in surprising her foes, but in the chessboard that now resembled a high-wire act, where a single misstep could lead to catastrophe. To the public, Camilla's unexpected loyalty sparked mixed reactions across Britain. Some eyed her newfound role with trepidation, a hesitant acknowledgement of the influence she so deftly wielded. For others, it kindled admiration, a display of unexpected yet sagacious leadership in turbulent times. Here was a queen consort, not tethered by the weight of tradition, but one who maneuvered fully within the intoxicating freedom of her own making, portraying a dimensional shift that few had anticipated, and even fewer could resist acknowledging. As alliances shift, the threat of destabilization grows, forcing Harry to confront his destiny within the heart of the crown. Harry stands on the precipice of destiny, torn between the call of duty and the yearning for freedom. Diana's letter forces him to reevaluate his role in the monarchy, urging him toward a path of self-discovery, one potentially at odds with the crown's expectations. In Harry's heart, the tumult of loyalty and longing raged like a storm at sea. He had always been the dutiful prince, molded by the grandeur of expectations, yet within him stirred an unease, a whisper of something more profound. His mother, Diana, had etched in him the spirit of compassion, teaching him that a life lived in service should not come at the expense of one's own individuality. Her letter, now gently worn by time, confronted him like a guardian star, threatening to alter the course that had been plotted out for him since birth. Diana's words were a linchpin, tenderly crafted to ignite change and force him to brave the path less trodden. Harry found himself anchored in the conflict between fulfilling public duty and a pursuit of personal happiness, a battle between two worlds that seemed irreconcilable. The weight of a crown that might never sit atop his head was yet an ever-present, silent burden. Each public appearance, every official obligation, became a stage for this inner turmoil as he questioned not just the monarchy, but his very essence within it. Was he nothing more than a captive of legacy and tradition, bound to a destiny that promised eternal servitude at the cost of personal peace? As he read and reread the letter, Diana's poignant insights resurfaced like echoes in his soul. "Live not only for the applause of the world," she penned, "but for the joy of your spirit's calling." Her words became the water that slowly eroded the rock of doubt, carving a path through the veneer of royal expectations. It was not just advice, it was a plea, a mother's wish for her son to choose authenticity over obligation, to discover a voice uniquely his. Harry knew these revelations were the seeds of transformation, but they also bore the weight of inevitable choice. In the quiet shadows of his mind, Harry contemplated a life untethered from the chains of duty. He envisioned moments where laughter rang free and decisions were his to make, not dictated by an institution. That the allure of freedom was tainted with uncertainty. Could he forsake a lineage that had defined him for so long? Or had the time come to redefine what it meant to be a prince and to carve out a new path? One where his mother's legacy was honored not through conformity, but through courage. The decision loomed, a harbinger of change or chaos. The crossroads lay before him, shrouded in both promise and peril, as if inviting him to step into the unknown, with Diana's light as his guide. The very thought sent shivers down his spine, an exhilarating yet terrifying rush that signified more than departure. It heralded the birth of a new chapter. It was not yet a choice made, but a question asked, a pendulum that swung precariously between tradition and transformation. As Harry teeters on the brink of change, the shadows of the past creep closer, heralding revelations that none expected. The royal family finds itself haunted, not only by Diana's words but by the spectres of their own missteps. As layers of deception peel back, deeper family secrets unveil the curses that bind. Will they break free or succumb? From within the hallowed halls of their ancestry emerges the shadow of past scandals, weaving their tales of treachery and folly. These are stories whispered in corridors, cloaked in the rustling of silk drapery and the creak of mahogany floors. Each misstep recorded in hushed tones, each indiscretion a reminder, a cautionary tale intended to be learned from but often ignored. The current generation, much like those before, treads carefully, or so they believe, following the carefully laid traps of history. Their lives become entangled with the ever-turning wheel of past follies, bearing witness to a lineage burdened with a legacy they did not choose. In this labyrinth of legacy stands Diana, whose foresight was a beacon of awareness amid the shadows. Her words, once penned with a tremor of urgency, now resonate like a haunting melody within the family's secret choir. She foresaw the dark corners, mapping the familiar patterns, recognizing the haunting pulse of repetition that threatened her sons. Her letter, a prognostication wrapped in soft paper and laced with truth's bitterness, was both a warning and a plea, a call to arms against the cyclical curse of their lineage. How vividly she saw the parallels. Her knowledge was a flickering lantern against the looming shades that haunted her family's narrative. For those left behind, the burden of this legacy is both a haunting spectre and a crucible of identity. It defines them, molds their public images and their private lives, sometimes at odds with each other. The echoes are undeniable: a grandfather's scandal at court, a father's turbulent reign, a mother's embattled resolve. They all form the sinew and marrow of the royal ethos. The weight is heavy, a yoke of tradition pressing hard upon the shoulders of both the willing and reluctant. But some, like King Charles, must confront the ghosts directly, caught in a delicate dance of reflection and reckoning. With each contemplative sigh, he revisits decisions made in the heat of youthful abandon, now understanding their enduring consequences that cling like ivy to stone. And Harry, ever striving for clarity amid a maze of inherited burdens, sifts through these spectral lessons, determined not to repeat the script that destiny seems insistent upon casting him in. With each revelation, his resolve solidifies, seeking to carve a path illuminated by knowledge rather than shackled by shadows. His journey is an unfurling tapestry of learning, of growth, and perhaps of redemption. But beneath the surface there stirs an anticipation, a prelude to an upheaval yet to unfold. The echoes are strengthening, and the time is ripe for change, a dramatic shift that promises to shake the bastions of tradition. The air is taut with expectation, a collective breath held in suspense. For the legacy of the past is on a collision course with the deliberate courage of new beginnings. With history as both a guide and a warning, the time has come for confrontations that promise to change everything. The inevitable clash looms as father and son stand at opposite ends of a tapestry-walled study, each embodying a vision of the monarchy's future. The air feels thick, almost electric, crackling with the unspoken words born of decades of silence. This room, with its ancestral portraits and forgotten echoes, becomes the battlefield in which their legacies entwine and unravel. Tension quivers like a taut string. For this is not just a private disagreement, but a moment that could tilt the scales of their dynasty forever. Eyes as hard as steel meet across the space, probing, questioning, demanding. It is here that secrets, once guarded with the utmost jealousy, unravel with the fury of ancient storms. Misgivings long buried beneath layers of royal duty rise to the surface, threatening to shatter the molded facade of unity. Words fly sharp as daggers, piercing through the thick veil of blood ties. In the echo of each syllable lies a history of hurt, unfulfilled dreams, and cold realities. You have defied every tradition. The king's voice rings out, resonating with a mixture of sorrow and authority. Yet the younger prince stands firm, his heart a tempest of convictions and grievance. He speaks of change, of visions unburdened by the weight of ancient polymers of power, intertwined with memories of a mother whose principles have imprinted deeply upon him. Between them, Diana's spirit weaves like an unseen force, pulling at their hearts, a legacy neither can escape. Her shadow casts deeply, sharpening the lines drawn in this royal sand. As their words entangle like dueling swords, loyalties orbit them like satellites caught in gravitational snare. Whispered conversations in palace corridors hint at advisors and courtiers, grappling silently, trapped in the whirlwind of this ideological storm. Should they side with the future as fashioned by tradition, or align with a reimagined monarchy, one painted with broader strokes and open hearts? The prince's eyes flicker with the fire of a new dawn, pressing against the cold, immovable granite of his father's stare. A clash of ideologies reverberates through their discourse, one rooting firmly in continuity, the other in transformation. In this crucible of conflict, they struggle not just against each other, but against themselves, as each wrestles with the ancient chains of ancestry tethered to the pulse of modernity. It becomes clear that in their impassioned debate, Diana's influence swells. Her name unspoken, but her presence undeniable, felt keenly in the honesty demanded and the dreams deferred. The soul of this confrontation lies not in the words, but in the unshed tears and unvoiced desires that linger between them. It is the haunting echo of a mother's laughter and the unfinished symphony of her legacy that sings strongest in the prince's heart. Her shadow, indeed, casts long, guiding and misguiding in equal measure, entwining love with duty, hope with fear. Just when the tension seems unfathomable, the confrontation crescendos to an unexpected twist. A revelation emerges, stark yet dazzling, tinged with consequences as severe as the thunderclouds gathering beyond those old stained windows. Choices are etched upon the air, impulsive yet stalwart, raw and transformative. The room, now devoid of the initial fury, fills with a profound silence, a silence that signifies an ending of one chapter and a breath before a new beginning. This shocking resolution casts new light upon intentions, transforming the air with unspoken promises of actions yet to unfold. As the dust settles from the confrontation, it becomes clear that actions must follow words, leading us into a pivotal choice for Harry. The echoes of this clash promise to ripple through the annals of the royal family, sculpting destinies long after the embers of this encounter have dimmed. In the serene aftermath of confrontation, Harry stands unfixed, a lone figure ensnared in contemplative solitude. The realization dawns on him. Reflection is merely the prelude to action. The truth within Diana's words unfurls like the petals of a long-preserved rose, still alive with the fragrance of her spirit, directing him toward a path he never dared to dream. He revisits the letter, Diana's handwriting, gentle, yet resolute, echoing the very essence of the life she envisioned for him, one unburdened by the gilded chains of tradition, resiliently tied to love and heartfelt purpose. It's in these delicate scribbles that Harry finds the courage to embrace his own truth, a destiny fashioned not by legacy alone, but by the complexities of the human spirit, shining against the background of royal expectation. The decision transcends the shadowy corridors of tradition. It is stark and revelatory. With a quiet determination, Harry resolves to step into a future that honors his past while boldly reimagining what is possible. A future that offers his family a legacy of empathy and understanding, far removed from mere ceremonial obligation. As Harry's decision ripples through the royal household, it elicits a symphony of reactions, some echoing disbelief, others silent admiration. King Charles, contemplative in his age, watches his youngest son, not only as an heir, but as a man weaving wisdom from the fragments of family history. Catherine's eyes, reflective of her constant support, acknowledge a hope that Diana's dream may indeed find its place in the annals of the monarchy. Beyond the palace walls, the world waits with bated breath. The public, always eager yet cautiously optimistic, embraces the scent of change, a new dawn forged not merely of lineage, but of human authenticity. This moment becomes a catalyst, igniting discussions that challenge the very essence of royalty, offering glimpses of a monarchy more aligned with the pulse of modernity. Harry's choice becomes more than just a personal milestone. It is a beacon lighting the way for a new generation. Whispers of what might be a monarchy adapting, learning, growing begin to circulate. In the courage of one prince, the seed of transformation takes root, hinting at futures shaped not by ancient walls, but by the open horizons of possibility and change. As he steps forward into this uncharted future, the legacy of Diana, wrapped in love and guidance, accompanies him. The past has guided the present, and now, as Harry charts a future defined by choice and courage, Diana's wisdom echoes across time, encouraging a world to remain steadfast and hopeful in the face of change. The start of this new chapter reverberates with the promise of what may become an evolving royalty, grounded in humanity and poised to carve a remarkable destiny.